I got the power to move ya.
You're listening to the PlaNiya podcast series. Your mind is your mind.
Greetings. Welcome to the PlaNiya podcast series, episode 4. I am TheJasmineGreenMcConico. I say the to make myself feel better. The purpose of this series is to evoke thought and resurrect your true opinions. Remember, your thoughts should be your own. Today we're going to hop off the agenda rail and designate this episode to Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. But most importantly, happy Black History Month. Yes. Funny how the holiday that is designated to celebrate love is in the middle of the Black History Month, a race that seems to be hated a lot. But I'm not going to make this episode a political one. In fact, I'm entitling this episode Love. Yeah, what is love? Let's figure that out as we jump right into the episode. Let's cut the music now. Alright, here we go. So, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Okay, sorry. Do you love yourself enough to be happy? Do you love yourself enough to demand more for yourself? Do you go after what you want? Do you take care of yourself the way you take care of the items that you try and show out with all on social media? I got a really strong vendetta against people who do that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving right along. Are you loving yourself enough to respect your own time? Are you pouring from an empty cup? What is love? How are you in your relationships? How are your relationships with other people? Are you helping? Are you reaping mistreatment due to how do you manage your interactions with other people? Because that'll stop your game and block your blessings too. What is the definition? What is your definition of love? And how do you project it outwardly in order for it to harvest into something that's beneficial for you? Love. Now, this is a very sensitive topic for everybody. Okay? And we're really gonna dive in, even though no matter how deep we go, it's just the surface. Okay. Anyway, most Christians will say that God is love. Scientists, I identify as a spiritual person, and I also say the same thing. Scientists have many theories. Philosophers use many explanations. It's often abused, but out of all of everything I done looked up trying to figure it out, because I did a paper in college, right? And obviously my professor was hurt. I think it was my second semester of my freshman year. And he told us to pick our own topic. And I was salty about one of the guys I was talking to. Because one of the guys I was talking to, every time, he wanted to get busy with a female, he would break up with me. And so, I was salty because we was on one of those breakup stances or whatever. And so, naturally, as a wounded Scorpio female, the topic I was like is, what is love? And so, my professor immediately gravitated towards my topic. And in the middle of it, when I submitted it, he was, oh, that's a good one. I look forward to that one. So I'm like, dang, I really got to put some time into it. And, I didn't feel like doing that. I was just salty. And I ended up, getting a C on that paper because he was like, I expected a lot more because somebody had hurt his feelings too. And I guess I didn't, heal him. But had I known, I would have, put some spoken word in it and finessed it a little bit. But I was wrapped up in my own little world or whatever. But anyway, it is often abused out of all. And out of everything I researched, what I had decided to settle on are these few adjectives. We have strong, number 1. Number 2, powerful. Number 3, a lot of people said it was involuntary. And number 4, it's an experience. Now, before I get into the significance of each of those, and how they relate to us or you and your success, I'm going to insert my free-form expression of love. It's the audio from the video, Funny How Life Works. that I just posted to represent the beauty of Black love and marriage. So here it goes. Check me out. Funny how life works its way around to working itself out. How what we've always wanted doesn't have to be chased. Instead, it requires us to be patient, and then it'll come to us. For me, that's you. The blessing in it is that you came and was exactly what I needed too. Funny how life works. How most of us are so selfish that we get wrapped up in our own desires, never to stop and think about what the other person we claim we love may need. Instead, we burden them with our problems, bury them in uncompromising ultimatums. And for me, you've taught me what works for you, and for me, and for us. The blessing in it is that what burdens me burdens you, and what hurts you pains me. I swear when I cry, your cheeks are wet. Bet on me to always ride for you, and you always win that bet. Like forever. Funny how life works. I find myself thinking about what it is that you may want from me. You know, as your future. 5 months out, and I'm wondering how to keep your attention for forever years. Mama says a real woman would have no problems with that, and that she raised a real one. But as your future, I want to know what you think, what you want, and what you need. Then you look at me, and I see that you're wondering the same about me. This love is two-sided, and you're trying to figure out how to keep getting attention from me. I smile. Look at God. Most people aren't blessed enough to find what we have. I love you so much. I think you can feel it in your heart, because when I think to speak to you, you know what I'm about to say before I start. I love you. From the moment life told its first joke with us. With someone else, I couldn't imagine being selfless and sharing the rest of my life with them. But then there's you. I look forward to sharing with you forever. All right. I do hope that you enjoyed that one. If you hear some heavy breathing, I had to go pick up my daughter while you all were enjoying that nice free-form poetry from my heart. It is copywritten. Don't try to steal it. But it's called Funny How Life Works, and I dedicated it to my my husband. But I did a little project where I requested all of my family and friends' marriage pictures and things of that sort. And then with their significant others, their lifetime significant others, and put their put their pictures over some clips of me and Gervais. But anyway, yeah, so let's just dive right into it. That was my expression of what I believe love to truly be, where it's just like you basically are feeling that person so much that person becomes you or whatever. So that's like the generic form of love. Well, I don't want to say generic, because me and other people that I know in their relationships, that stuff is so real. For instance, one of the girls that I know, her significant other, they just had a beautiful baby girl, and her significant other partook in consuming the placenta together in a smoothie, just to, nourish themselves or whatever. And I was just like, that is true love. And I spoke about the Akeens in my first video, in my first podcast, about this couple who basically does business together or whatever. But today it's about self-love, because you can really only truly love others and project that onto others when you love yourself. So let's start. Love is involuntary. That's one of the most frequent things that I saw. And when I think of the word involuntary, I think of someone not wanting or being willing to participate in a certain activity. Think of the questions that I asked in the beginning. Do you love yourself enough to be happy? I mean, I don't think anybody would volunteer to be unhappy, but the question about demanding more for yourself is something that a lot of us don't do. We don't really volunteer to go the extra mile for ourselves because we know ourselves. We've been there during the dark times with ourselves. It ain't no reason to dress up for ourselves, but we go the extra mile for everybody else. We go the extra mile to show out. We go the extra mile to put up this fake facade for everybody else, and then we end up doing all the wrong things and living as people that we are not truly are. That it's just fake. And so when I think about involuntary, I don't really feel like it truly fits the definition of love. I guess people say it's involuntary because it just happens, which I understand, because when I first started talking to my man, we had been friends for 3 years. We went to college together or whatever. He wouldn't really stud me in college, though he says he was. But we, according to our outside sources, we both liked each other. We just never really said anything. And then 3 years later, he started being a punk, and he decided to, come talk to you, girl, or whatever. And at the time, marriage was something I didn't want to do. I didn't feel like really being committed to somebody for the rest of my life who would cheat on me. The basic stereotypical idea that a woman has about a man, that was my thing. I was going to, eventually, when I was ready, get knocked up by one of my guy best friends, and then not obligate him to everything, and we're gonna travel the world together. Crazy idea, right? Crazy idea, but that's the way I thought. And then when Gervais stepped into the picture, it was completely different, and I fell into that very involuntarily or whatever. But what if you were to not become self-centered, but fall in love involuntarily with things that you needed to do in order to ensure your success? Which leads me to experience. Experience is exposure to things that result in an increase in a skill or understanding, more like a knowledge. So basically, let's say you want to be, I don't know, a painter. Okay. What are you experiencing to elevate yourself to be on the skill level that you will be recognized as a profound painter? It's not enough to say you want to do something. What are you putting behind that? What situations are you placing yourself in to ensure that you get or meet the goals that you set forth for yourself? Like, say, for instance, we have a lot of people who say, here's the typical thing for me. Like, say, for instance, I mentioned in the first one, way back when I used to make instrumentals or whatever, and the first thing out of people's mouth would be, I rap. It's not enough for you to tell me that you rap. I mean, what's your heart behind it? What have you done besides, sat around the table and freestyle with your friends and y'all laugh because you said something clever and funny? Like, clever and funny does not equal the time that I put in the perfect instruments together to make this beautiful melody just for you to throw up over the track. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you say, I don't know, you want to be an actor or an actress, what experiences have you put yourself in? How have you practiced that? How have you honed in on your skill? So if we go back to the questions, are you going after what you want? Are you exposing yourself to the things that will allow you to get towards your goals or to grow towards your goals? Are you plotting? Are you planning? Are you going out? Are you networking? Are you doing your research? The word said that faith without works is dead. So if you're not taking the time to expose yourself to the things that you need to do in order to ensure your success, then you're not really giving yourself that loving experience that you need. So that's the second one, which leads me to the word strong, or as I like to have like strength or switch it, strength. I'm sorry, my baby. You here? Go ahead and say something, Jordan. Okay, go to sleep, Jordan. I'm sorry. But anyway, strength means being able to withstand great force of pressure. You know, it's a lot of people around here talking about some they love each other, but as soon as the next person come by, they gone. You know, that's not true love or whatever. But strength means being able to withstand great pressure or great force and pressure. Here, Jordan, if you spit this binky out one more time, you can get it no more. Sorry. It's the pressure that you're putting on yourself to be great, the wrong kind of pressure. And what I mean by that is the pressure you're putting on yourself the kind that's like, oh, I gotta have them shoes when they come out. Oh, I gotta make it. I gotta go back to school so that I can have master in my title or doctor in my title. And I'm really not passionate about it, so I'm finna waste all this time on this just so I look good. You see what I'm saying? Are you wasting or giving away? Like, are you worried about everybody else's opinion of you? Is this pressure taking away precious time that you could be putting into going to experiences or exposing yourself in order to master the skills that you need to do what you're passionate about? And what you're passionate about, money will follow that. Success will follow that, as long as it's in God's will. You see what I'm saying? Now, you know I'm a plug. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to plug. And I'm talking about what I know. I mean, you can take it how you want to take it. I'm speaking about how I know, what I know. But are you so busy pouring into everybody else that you're not pouring into yourself? Now, again, you can't be half a person loving somebody else. You have to be a whole person before you try to be with somebody else. It ain't like two halves completing a whole. It's more like two wholes complementing each other. Two whole people, not wholes, excuse me. Whole people complementing each other if you gonna go that route. So if we're just talking about your self-love, how are you building yourself up? Strength means to be well built. Strength means just it means sturdy. It means tough. And if you're pouring your time and giving your strength and becoming weak, putting pressure on yourself for things that just don't matter, wearing yourself out, you can't withstand anything when it comes time for your reputation to be questioned against anything that you say you want to do. If you say, I'm a photographer, you know, blah, 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 and somebody says, okay, where's your card? Do you have your card? If somebody says, okay, where's your portfolio? Have you learned how to create a nice portfolio? If somebody says, okay, you've done this, you know, where's your resume? Where is this? Where is that? And you don't have anything to show, don't nobody want to hear no, oh, I'm getting ready to do this and this is it. Okay, but you haven't done it yet. And so they're going to move on to the next thing. It's already going to be hard enough if you have created some things. Because you already know people act funny. They ain't going to just check out your work. You know, you have to be done that work and then some. Like, you have to be on the advertising and the promoting yourself for anybody to, like, really view it. That's when, the bandwagon people going to come around, because then your name will be out there. But if you ain't even started writing your own name and whispering your own name out there for it to be heard, then you're not strengthening yourself. You're not, which leads me to, before I get into that, also, strength also means having power, which leads me to the last word, which is powerful, indestructible. And I'm just going to do a little snippet right here. Just a quick question. Do you have the strength to help others? Because the Bible says you reap what you sow, right? And a lot of us feel like we can't help somebody else because we be so greedy. But I feel like a lot of us have not advanced as far as we could have advanced because we don't want to accept help and we haven't helped others, which is where this whole discernment comes in. You can't just tell everybody what you plan on doing because people are foolish and they will steal your ideas like it's their own. I have had that happen countless times. I used to write fan fiction videos on the fan fiction stories on the Chris Brown website a long time ago. And it wasn't because I was like this extreme Chris Brown fan. It was my first time. Like, I used to write stories in high school in this 3-prong notebook and pen and pass it around and have people read it or whatever. And on Sundays at church, my church friend, Kiana, every Sunday she'll be looking for a new entry in my little 3-prong notebook. Or at school, my friend Chantel, every time we would go to chorus or we'd be sitting back, she, be waiting on a new entry in my prom. Shout out to them because they really did push me into writing more. I had this old computer I would type all my stories on or whatever. It is sitting in our bedroom over there in that little nook. I'm gonna have to get some tech crew to get the stuff off of there because, baby, that thing, it won't reflect on the monitor or whatever. But anyway, I was writing on the fan fiction site, the Chris Brown fan fiction site, and I noticed, somebody was really commenting a lot or whatever, and then I went to their page, check them out, and they done copied and pasted everything, bruh. I'm like, you couldn't be original in the least, but you couldn't switch nothing around, but she done copied and pasted. The most she did was change the character's name. Everything else she copied and pasted it, and she rewrite things improperly spelled, and it ticked me off because I'm like, oh my gosh, how you gonna do that? So you have to have discernment about the moves that you share with people. Like, for instance, I know I can trust my family members, those that I give a shout out to every week. I know that I can trust my cousin Biscuit or Patty. But Biscuit, I call her Biscuit. Because she's always rode for me. Anytime I call Patty up to come ride with me when I was trying to do the play. Bless you, baby. When I was trying to do the play, oh, bless you, baby. When I was trying to start PlaNiya entertainment company, when I was meeting up with different people to do different projects, she was right there with me. So you definitely have to have discernment about who you let into your circle. You have to have the strength enough to gain that discernment to learn which people you can trust. But if you one of those weak-minded people who just, I'm going to keep it all to myself, I'm going to be greedy when I make it, everybody going to be blah, 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 blah. If you get far, you won't stay there. Because you have to have the strength enough to work with people. Also, if you are pouring from an empty cup, you will hold no weight. In your pursuit of your endeavors, you have to be mighty. God is mighty. I'm a plug. And we are a reflection of Him. Whether you want to accept it or not, it's just my belief. I'm not pushing anything. I'm just speaking from my heart. But yeah, we are a reflection of Him. There is power. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. Okay. All right. But anyway, if you're pouring from an empty cup, you will hold no weight. If you too busy pouring out everything that you have on everybody else's project and you know for a fact that you have your own and them people ain't turning around pouring into your cup or they pulling you in different directions and ain't no, every time you say, okay, well, I want to do this, ain't nobody, they say, okay, all right, we can help you with that. But first someone said, you're going to have to build yourself up. You're going to have to become indestructible. You're going to have to lay down your foundations. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to put together all 4 of these powerful words that people have defined to be what love is and their best ability, and you're going to have to put that forth towards yourself. You're going to have to put those definitions towards yourself, towards your dreams, towards your goals, and you're going to have to reach them. I know I have been so annoying about this whole, you gonna have to do this, you gonna have to do that. I am that friend who you cannot tell what you gonna do, because I'm gonna ask you about it. I'm gonna go on Groupon. Anytime I see one of them Groupon certifications, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna email it to you. I'm gonna tell you check your email. I'm gonna say, however long that timeline is that you supposed to be done got that certification, I'm gonna check. And if you ain't done it, I'm gonna become a fly all over again. I am that person. But I am that person because that's who I was called to be. That's what God placed inside of me to be. And I feel like that's why I experience a lot of hardships and stuff, because I know my purpose and I know where I'm supposed to go. And I know that to whom much is given, much is required. Love is compelling. And you have to become compelling for yourself. Compel yourself to get to where you want to go. Are you loving yourself enough? Ask yourself that. This is a reflective podcast now. I wish y'all would comment. Shout out to Excuse My Blank Language. What's up, bruh? How you doing, bruh? We still waiting on your video, bruh. Where it at? Go ahead and check out his channel. He's probably gonna comment below. And if he doesn't, then I will link it. But yeah. Are you loving yourself enough? If not, you need to make those changes. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. So, yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out to my love, Gervais. And I'm going to insert this song that I made when me and Gervais we were dating. Oh, yes. So I'm going to put my little Valentine's Day song here. Give me a second. You know what? I'm going to insert it at the end. Jordan is asleep and I don't have it on the thumb drive by my computer. So if you would like to hear that song that I wrote when I sang for Gervais when we were dating, that unedited rough version of a song that I made for Gervais when we were dating, then stay tuned to the end of the video, because I'm gonna put it on the bike end of the video. But anyway, I would like to shout out to my Jordan. One day I get to hear you say, mommy I love you, baby. Okay, sorry, I wrote a song for her before she even got here. Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to my parents, the lovely Janice, the handsome Donnie. You created the best combination ever. Shout out to my brothers, DJ, Jeremiah, Bleak. Bleak is my brother from another mother and daddy. He my brother's best friend and I stole him. He was my brother's bro first, and then he just became my big brother too. And then shout out to my subscribers, my viewers, my listeners, my friends. All of y'all are family, including my family. Now, next week's topic, we'll be talking about modern versus traditional practices, and we'll be featuring my brother, DJ, the DJ, and hopefully we'll have some other guests. Please stay tuned. Y'all be blessed. Love y'all.